Hi, everybody. This is the baseball head, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the people's champion, your host, and welcome back to the baseball head. Hopefully, you like this video. And hit that subscribe button. Just adjust my camera here. Do a little bit something different here at the baseball head. We're back here talking about the Mets, of course. And, of course, if you haven't already, coming into the first time, you have to subscribe to the channel to participate. Welcome, John Boy. What's up? How you doing? Lots going on, believe it or not. There is a lot of rumors tonight, boy. A lot. Obviously, the fallout from Juan Soto. Hello, Nelson Cruz. Ha ha. Yes, there's a lot of news last night. Big news. Huge news. Obviously, the Mets signed, and it's not official, Juan Soto to this 15-year, $765 million deal. And the Mets aren't done yet. They have a lot of work to do still. And we'll get into that. But the fallout from Soto has been just funny as hell. The meltdown by the Yankee fans. We have shown now that we are willing to spend as much money, and we will take any player from any team at any time. The Yankees traded so many players last year for him. And where did they get them? They got them to the World Series, but they didn't win, and they lost them. And Hal Steinbrenner, they were willing to spend a lot of money. And give Hal credit, but again, you don't let Soto leave the room at the end and go back to the Mets. And that's what happened. The word was on Friday, the Mets were going to sign him, but something happened over the weekend. Hal gave him a lot more money, and it didn't look like that he was going to come to the Mets. So instead of him saying to Soto, look, you can't go back. If we get the last chance to talk, then why are you here? So it's just silliness, quite frankly, and that's a mistake. They shouldn't have let him go back to the Mets, because then all it took was a 10-minute phone call from Steve Cohen to Scott Boras on Monday or Sunday, and that was it. We didn't even have the official first night of the winter meetings, and now we have one of the best players in the game here. Now, please, of course, like this video, hit the subscribe button, and obviously they have after 5 years. After 5 years, he has an opt-out, and then he does this sort of escalating salaries over the next 10 years after that. Now, people are going to say it's a 15-year deal. Why are you giving this guy this contract? Look, he's 26 years old. The Mets win a World Series in the next 5 years. It's all worth it. And then you sort of work with it. And even if he's only here for 5 years and he goes and he leaves at 31 years old, God bless him. Thank you. The Mets win in the next few years. With him, you'll all be happy and I'll be happy. Let me get to the chat. Hello, Todd Licata, Buzz Talk Live. What's with the spotlight effect? I don't know, just sort of experimenting. This is something new with YouTube. So I kind of think it looks kind of cool. Makes my head look even rounder, quite frankly. Todd Licata says, Yankee fans calling Soto grease if they didn't get everyone for 2 decades. More than that, man. Many, many years. That's rich. Some of the stuff. Let me see if I can punch some of this stuff up. But some of it is just so ridiculous and so hysterically funny. What's going on? And we got a bunch of rumors here. Let me just share my X account. Because on X, folks, I got a whole bunch of stuff that is so funny. Some of the videos, I'm going to play some of them. What's going on with the Yankee fans? And your host, of course, thinks it's funny. I think it's funny. I think it's funny, and that's the best part of this is how funny this is. A couple of things. Shomania, as you can see, there is increasing optimism that he's going to come back. That the Mets like him so much, and he likes them so much that they're willing to give him a fourth year. Just something that we know Dave Stearns doesn't really like doing for pitchers. So we'll see if they can work it out. That's the one thing I'd like to see. See if they can work that situation out. Also, Pete Alonso. We'll get into Pete, but Sean Manaea is interesting because obviously he pitched really well in the last half of the season. He was the Mets ace, and seeing him hopefully back would be great. Let me get to some of these videos. Some of these videos are just so ridiculously funny, especially from this actor Nick DeToro, who was an actor on NYPD Blue. I think he's on Blue Bloods. He was the actor on Blue Bloods too. But I have some from last night, which is like the early reaction from a lot of the Yankees. Let's start with Nick. This is pretty funny. I guess he does a lot of these raging kind of videos. See if this comes up. And meanwhile, please, of course, like this video and subscribe. So this is a very different channel than any other channel you can possibly find on YouTube. I do very different things here opposed to what everyone else does. So I like to sort of talk about social media accounts. I have no problem with that. No fear. That'd be a problem sometimes. Let me just get the sound up. There.
Juan Soto?
I got 2 words for you. Fuck you! That's right. Fuck you and the horse you rode in on.
Let me play. Hold on a second. Let's start this over. Get back. Look how deranged Nick DeToro is.
Hey, Juan Soto? I got 2 words for you. Fuck you! That's right. Fuck you and the horse you rode in on. And the cavalry behind you. That's right, motherfucker. Yeah, I'm taking it personal. We gave you our love. We gave you our fucking heart and soul. It wasn't enough. You turned your cap around after the World Series. I saw that fucking move. 700 million, 730. Yeah, it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. Guaranteed years, it wasn't enough. You don't even choose the Dodgers. You don't even choose the Dodgers. Go off Broadway to the Mets. You don't want to be on Broadway? And you don't want to be Judge's guy? You don't want to be Judge's partner? Oh, that's right, Judge. Now it's your team. That's it. Let's stick it up his fucking ass. That's right. Let's go out. Let's get Burns, Freed, Bregman. Let's fucking take Oscar. I don't give a fuck. Now we're not fucking around. Take those fucking grungy, whatever those fucking, those stupid Mets. Fuck them.
There's more.
Hey, Juan Soto? I got two words for you. Fuck you! That's right. Fuck you and the horse you rode in on. And the cavalry behind you. That's right, motherfucker. Yeah,
All right, let's get this guy. This guy's pretty funny too. Really depressing. This guy, I feel kind of sorry for him. And I think all this is funny. Cracks me up.
You make it to the World Series. The Mets are gonna do nothing with you. And you know what?
Let's get it back to the again. This guy's a fool. He didn't realize that the Mets were in the postseason this past year. Mets are gonna do nothing.
Why this make me this upset? We're building something with you. Make it to the World Series. The Mets are gonna do nothing with you. And you know what, Juan? You lied to us. You absolutely lied to us.
Liar. These are like girlfriend
the
tapes.
The Yankees are in that ballpark that you got. Around $730 million. And you went to the sewer rats. You went to those sewer rat Mets. We better sign everybody now. And I hope Cohen, you stupid bastard, that Cohen bastard. I don't even have words for it, man. You lose a World Series.
Yeah.
Go have fun with the polar bear.
Right.
Go have fun with that team. They don't even have they have no pitching staff. The Dodgers, you're never going to get past the Dodgers.
Right. Like
have
you did.
Fun. never getting back to the World Series with your 15-year bullshit.
These guys, they all sound like they broke up. They all sound like girls that have broken up with their boyfriend. The last one's funny. This last one is really funny. Got one guy burning a jersey. What's the matter with you? There's no name on the back, moron. But this guy is probably the funniest one because this guy went to Citi Field. He goes to Citi Field, starts complaining. Get this sound up. Just punch him up. Punch him up. This guy's the funniest of them all because he actually goes to Citi Field and starts complaining about Juan Soto and the Mets and the area and the street.
Hey, Juan Soto, listen up, man. This is your new fucking home. This is your new home right here. Shut the fuck up and don't fucking complain. Look at this shithole. Look at this fucking shithole. Right across the street. Look at this fucking dump. Road fucking closed. You chose this piece of shit to be your home for the next 15 fucking years because you're a money-hungry fucking bitch. Fuck you. Fuck you. Every Yankee fan should burn your fucking jersey. Fuck you, Juan Soto.
I mean, this is the kind of stuff that I revel in, quite frankly. It's the kind of stuff I think is hysterically funny. And to see this sort of meltdown from the Yankees. Now, you will not see this from any other channel. Of course, all the other channels are professional. All the other channels don't mock the other team's fans. Your host revels in it. I revel and I love it. Feeds me. It sustains your host. And to see Yankee fans apoplectic, is that the word? Completely pissed off and angry because they took one of the best players in the game and basically turned baseball on its ear through one signing. We've been talking about Juan Soto for months that the Mets were going to sign him. I've been thinking about him for years. Coming here since Steve Cohen took over. I've been talking about Juan Soto coming here for years. So the idea that this is some shock. I mean, these Yankee fans think they're so shocked. I mean, they're so like beyond the pale of insanity. But to see the Yankee fans get so mad and so angry, it's great. It is absolutely positively great. And it's funny, I have a friend who breaks my balls about the Mets all the time. I forgot to text him. I should have texted him yesterday and this morning and today. I haven't done that, But to see this sort of anger, the anger from the Yankee fans, because now this is a Mets town. This is my town. This is our town now. It's taken a long time to get it back, and we've gotten it back. Because really, the Mets had this town for a very long time. They had it in the 60s, they had it in the 70s, they had it for a long time in the 80s. And then the 90s, and then the Mets got disrespected by the media, particularly WFAN. And this nonsense of little brother bullshit started, which was never true. And now you see the Yankee fans and the team really tonight. I mean, the thing that was amazing about tonight was listening to Brian Cashman said that he doesn't want to spend money like they're drunken sailors. That's not what you want to hear if you're a Yankee fan. So the idea that the Yankees are going to spend a lot of money, don't catch your breath. Don't hold your breath. Brian Diver says Yankees done this for decades, but when the Mets do it, they don't like it. No, and their fans don't like it because, like I said, the Yankee fans, they really wanted this guy. The Yankees wanted this guy badly, and they were going to get him. But Steve Cohen, he sat down, he talked on the phone with Scott Boras, like I said, on a 10-minute conversation last night, and they hammered it out. As you know, Steve Cohen was the one that negotiated the Carlos Correa deal 2 years ago. So he has a very good relationship with with Scott Boras, which was very different from the previous ownership. They had a terrible relationship with Scott Boras because they didn't want to spend money. I was thinking about this. Juan Soto, I've been wanting him on the Mets for a long time. The only player I wanted on the Mets for that length of time for a few years was Alex Rodriguez, A-Rod. I wanted A-Rod on the Mets for a long time. See, I was thinking about this too. The thing about Soto that's a major thing with him, which A-Rod had, they were younger. I think A-Rod was 26. And Soto's 26. So if you're Juan Soto, where would you want to be? Would you want to be on a team that has a 32-year-old Aaron Judge horseface, a 34-year-old Garrett Cole, who both of them had a terrible World Series. Horseface had a terrible postseason run here. He's been a terrible postseason player to begin with. Now, people have been talking about this idea of protection. He only hit 6 more home runs than he did last year when he hit 35 home runs with the Padres, and he hit 6 more home runs with the Yankees. So I don't know what protection they're talking about. And they had the same amount of RBIs, 109 the last 2 years. So where would he rather be? Would he rather be on a team that has a youngish team, a more athletic team with the Mets? Got Francisco Lindor and a younger player in Francisco Alvarez and a younger player in Ron Vientos. So why would, just looking at in a practical sense, he's going to a younger team because the Mets are going to get younger in the outfield and the infield. I expect the Mets to be very busy this week. It's been very quiet tonight with all the teams, but I expect the Mets to be getting even more busy. I expect them to get rid of Starlin Marte. I expect them to think about moving Jeff McNeil. I expect them to be very busy, quite frankly. And at the same time, there was this rumor, this story that Juan Soto is very close to his family, and they wouldn't let his parents in the Yankee Stadium. And they wouldn't let his driver in the stadium. They wouldn't let his chef in the stadium. And it was the same guy at the ballpark. So there's a bit of an issue there with Soto and his family and some of the people that worked at the ballpark. Very strange story. But Soto, like I said, he's going to transform this lineup. And I think that coming off going to the NLCS and being 2 wins from the World Series, the Mets are kind of in a similar place from where they were, say, in 1984. 1984, they won 90 games. They brought in Darryl Strawberry, Dwight Gooden, Keith Hernandez. That was the first year of that group. And in that offseason, they brought in Gary Carter. I think that's very similar to now. It's also very similar to Mike Piazza. In 97, the Mets were good, but they weren't great. They weren't really a legit contender until they brought in Piazza, and then they re-signed Piazza. But making the trade put them on the map when they were off the map for a long time. Now, this is a little bit different in regards to the Mets have been on the map since Cohen has taken over the reins of the ownership here. But with Cohen and with the Mets, the way the Mets played this past year, it's very similar to 84. It's very similar to 97. People kind of don't, if you don't remember 97, it was a very enjoyable season. And then 98 was when they really, with Piazza here and Olerud and Edgar Alfonso, in 99 they brought in Robert Ventura, and then eventually Mike Hampton, et cetera, et cetera. So we're very similarly in that way. I was also thinking about this too today. About 2004, this was 20 years ago, we had Pedro Martinez sign that big deal with the Mets and Omar Minaya, and that basically led to the Mets bringing in Carlos Beltran. So there's a lot of similarities to this. So that's why there's all kinds of rumors today and tonight that the Mets are going to re-sign Pete Alonso and that he wants to come back here. There was a story that he was over in Ireland with his wife. They walked into a pub. He ran into a bunch of Met fans, and they asked him if he wanted to be back. Would he want to be back here? He said he wanted to come back. It was up to really the Mets and his agent. So there's a lot of mutual interest there with the Mets and Pete, and that's why, if you watched the video earlier, I had my polar bear hat on the video. I should probably put it on. They just re-signed him. I will wear this in the live stream. Hopefully I'll be home for it. Say, I can't believe I've had this. I can't believe I didn't remember having it all these years of the channel. But, I hope you like that and we'll have fun with that. And if the Mets re-sign him and he has big games, I'll wear them after a game and we'll see what happens. But that's the rumor. There's also a rumor tonight about Alex Bregman. I'm not too happy with that because I want Pete back. I don't want Bregman here. And I know he's a winning player. His role would be very different than would be with Pete being here. Obviously, he'd be the third baseman here. And Alonso would be gone, and Vientos would be the first baseman. So I'm not entirely sold on Bregman coming here with the Mets. That doesn't really appeal to me. He is a very accomplished player, two-time All-Star, Gold Glove, 2 World Series, Silver Slugger Award, but his offense has taken a dip to a certain degree. Yeah, I mean, he has no power. So that's the concerning thing, is he'll drive runs in, but he's not a guy that's going to scare you late in the game deep. And we know Pete is a guy that has power, and he's a big clutch hitter with that power. So I'm not totally enamored with that. But there is mutual interest between Pete and the Mets, and that is a good first step to them bringing him back. And David Stearns did say today that they really love having him here and they want to bring him back. It's just that the way things are right now, and this thing with Soto was such a big deal, or they had to sort of have to put priorities where they need to be. Now, what kind of years, what kind of money? Probably about 150, 160, 7 years, something like that. Something in that universe. I don't think it'll be as much money as Adames got. But he certainly want to get the most money of any first baseman that's on the market. I don't know off the top of my head what Freddie's getting or what Matt Olson is getting. So, but that's one of the rumors tonight. There's a big rumor before I got on, as well as Bregman. Now, Sean Manaea, to get back to him, I think that he'll be coming back. I think he'll be back. I think Pete will be back and Manaea will be back. I thought prior to this, I wasn't sure if Pete was going to come back, but I think he's going to come back. And I think he's excited about this thing with Soto. So when you bring in big players like Soto, other players, great players, want to be involved with that. And he's such a high energy guy, Soto. Everybody loves him, except for the Yankee fans. Now they're going to hate him. They're going to absolutely hate that guy now, the Yankee fans. And believe me, really, I haven't talked to a couple of Yankee fans, friends at work yet, but about the situation. But I know family members weren't too happy yesterday. And obviously online, they're pretty angry and pissed off. You saw the video earlier. But that'll be a lot of fun to sort of make fun of. Now on to other things about the Mets pitching. Before I came on, there's all kinds of talks that Garrett Crochet is going to get traded. I've heard 4 teams prominently. The Mets are one of them. The Mets, the Yankees, the Phillies, and the Rangers, believe it or not. But the asking price for a Garrett Crochet is so high that might not happen. So that's the one thing I have heard. That's an enormous price tag on him. Corbin Burns, another name that I've heard tonight with the Mets. The Mets are very interested, and they've been talking to him tonight. But we'll see where that goes. He is a guy I'd be very surprised the Mets would dilly up the years for him. The money I don't think is an issue with him, but the years I think would be a major problem. I think would be a major problem, quite frankly. I don't think the Mets really want to give him a lot of years. And based upon the fact that he's one of these guys that his velocity is down, his strikeout totals are down, and I don't think they're really all that enamored with that idea. So that is a problem. So just want to do a couple of things. But in the meanwhile, please, of course, like this video and subscribe to the Baseball Hut. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty obvious that it seems that Pete's going to come back. I think Benai's going to come back. I've been saying that the Mets are going to probably make a trade. Who that's for yet, I don't know. But I think they'll make a trade tonight or in the next couple of days. We got very lucky last night because Soto signed during the show, which I was very happy about. I think I was like the calmest person. I must have been the calmest person during the news breaking that they signed him. I was so calm, man. Everybody's going crazy. But then, I've said, plenty of times, and a lot of people said this too, that you don't win the offseason. You win the season. So that's why I didn't really get too worked up about it. The Mets are talking to Jonathan Loaizaga. He's a reliever with the Yankees. Obviously, they want to see if he's in the bullpen. Obviously, Carlos Mendoza likes him a lot. Again, a project. Thank you for correcting me. Walker Buehler. Keep an eye on Walker Buehler. There was all kinds of rumors the Mets were going to sign him tonight. Little Andy Martino mentioned him, that they were talking about a 1-year deal with him, which makes a lot of sense. So just keep that in mind for him. He is a guy that has high value in that he has ace-like stuff. He's been an ace in his career. But he's been injured a lot, and he was injured last year. Let me say a little bit more. People in the chat, Mr. King Vulture, you knew. Judge didn't reach out. Well, he did, but it's hard to talk to a talking horse. You don't take him seriously. Oh, what a great captain. He led one of the best players of the Yankees. Hello, sir, foul player of Brooklyn. How you doing? I'm a long-time subscribers. How's it going? What do you say? How you be? So, who else we have on the list? Keep an eye on Jesse Winker, obviously. Keep an eye on Jose Iglesias. I think Iglesias is coming back. The assumption that he's going to come back for some reason. It seems like he's going to come back. That's for sure. Now, the next couple of days, hopefully we'll have some trades. It's been very quiet today. Other than, I guess, let's see. Who was that move tonight? The Phillies signed Jordan Romano and made him the closer. I didn't think they were going to get a major piece for the back end of that bullpen. And that is not surprising. The one thing about Dave Dombrowski, he doesn't get worked up about who's closing games. John Boy says Olsen and Freeman both are making 165 to 175. Don't know how many years. I think it's 7 years for them. Pete's better than Olsen. Olsen is I don't know what the hell's going on there. I don't know why he hit 50-something home runs last year. I think I have a pretty good idea, but he's better than Olsen. So he should get in the middle of that, I would think. But he might be looking to get more based on the fact that just the rates of contracts are insane. But like I said, we'll see. Now, please keep in mind, the winter meetings go until Thursday. I was hoping to be able to do all-day live streaming on Wednesday, but I have to work. Thank you very much. So I got called in to work on Wednesday. But I'm not going to be out too late. And tomorrow I'll be home. I should be home tomorrow by 4 o'clock. And I should be back here on Wednesday, 4:30. Thursday, I should be here in the afternoon, so before that. And then Friday, I'm not working, but we'll have something kind of show, and we'll have plenty of videos for you. I would think that just, Pete Alonso might be a situation where we get to the winter meetings and the Mets sign Pete on the after that, I think. To me, he's a priority. I want him back. I don't want him playing for another team. I really don't. And I don't want to hear any nonsense about him going forward. I think I haven't heard too much about people complaining about him over the last month or so since he hit those big home runs for them. in the postseason. I'd like to see him continue on. He still has plenty of baseball left in him. I don't know if I feel comfortable giving him 7 years, but I wouldn't have a problem giving him 4 years or 5 years and put him as the DH at some point. But he's not ready to DH, I don't think. But we'll see. Now, I'm going to go do the list of players that are still available or not available who signed in this winter meetings. And, of course, we will hope that we'll get some movement here. I'm not going to be on too long. I'll go through the list of players. I got so many players, and there's some players I don't have on here. I don't have on here that got moved and signed with teams and stuff like that. So first up, Juan Soto signed with Mets. 15 years, $765 million. Wow, $15 million, 15 years. Crazy. Corbin Burns, like I said, the Mets are talking to him tonight. The Yankees, the Phillies, Boston, the Cubs, Baltimore, San Francisco, Toronto. We're hearing a lot about San Francisco. If he's willing to take fewer years and some opt-outs and more money, the Mets will do that. But if it's going to be more than 3 years, I won't do it, and I don't think he'll do that. So I think he'll go probably to the Giants because the Giants made that big move of bringing in Willie Adames. Pete Alonso. Now, Soto has a qualifying offer attached to him. So that means the Mets will have to give up a draft pick after the fourth round to the Yankees. I'm sure that's what the Yankee fans want. They'll get some great prospect. They'll brag about how great he is. We don't need Juan Soto. F you, Juan Soto. But Corbin Burns has a qualifying offer. Pete Alonso has a qualifying offer. So the Mets lose Pete, they'll get some kind of prospect to the draft. But I don't know. I have not dove into the draft for next year yet and giving you my assessment of it. This past year was sort of a fair draft, very heavy college draft. Last year was the big draft because we had Paul Skeens and Dylan Cruz, real big-time prospects. Both of them are going to be big contributors for a long time in major leagues. I don't know this year's yet, so just keep that in mind. Alex Bregman, where's he going to go? Well, we got the Yankees, San Francisco. I could probably cross them off, I think. The Giants. Cross them off. The Mets, but I think he'll go to Houston, quite frankly. But we got Seattle, Washington, and, of course, the Phillies. He was in Washington a few weeks ago to watch the Commanders play on Sunday. I don't know where the Nationals are at this point in their development as a group. Willie Adames signed with the Giants. Big contract. Shane Bieber, he signed with the Guardians. Jack Flaherty's still out there. Haven't heard much from him other than the other day with the Mets. I would mention, if you get any news while I'm doing the show, please drop that into the chat. We're all in this together. All in this together, folks. Okay, now here's an interesting thing. I'd mentioned from MLB Scoops, has all these great scoops, believe it or not. He's an anonymous account. Well, the Munchkin, a.k.a. Ken Rosendahl, has put out an article about Garrett Crochet. And it's everything I said, every team that I said was involved. He's mentioned, of course, behind a paywall, but the Mets are talking to him, talking to the White Sox. And that is interesting, And we know from last year that David Stearns loves his lefties. So the Mets right now do not have one lefty in their rotation. If they bring back Manaea, they make this trade. Again, your host had it here first, too, talking about this, because I saw from MLB Scoops that he posted this. He's an anonymous guy, but he is at the winter meetings. So that's the one thing I will say. He's at the winter meeting. So he's not some anonymous guy. He's probably known. So just keep that in mind. Blake Snell signed with the Dodgers. Sung Kim, we'll see where he goes. I've heard Seattle, the Angels, White Sox, Houston, San Diego, Detroit. I don't know where he's going to go. Anthony Santander, he's got a lot of teams on him. I'd heard the Mets a little while back. That's not going to happen now. With Soto coming, Cubs, Seattle, Houston, Milwaukee, Toronto, San Francisco, Kansas City, Philadelphia, and the Yankees. I think he will go to Kansas City. I've been pretty consistent with him. Max Fried, another guy with a qualifying offer along with Anthony Santander. I think he will go to Boston. But I think the Yankees and the Red Sox are going to fight back and forth with some kind of move for him. And I think that he will go to the Red Sox. I'd be very surprised if he did not. All right, it's again from MLB Scoops. He's got a great account on X. The Showman Nine sweepstakes are likely to end this week in Dallas, according to a source, with the Mets and Red Sox being viewed as the favorites. As reported by Andy Martino, a reunion in Queens seems very possible at this point in time. Okay. Again, here's another account on the Dog MLB. It's just posting little things. It's a pretty good account. It's got a lot of followers. Mets, Yankees, most aggressive suitors. I have a character. Where's that going to go? Yankees and Mets, most aggressive suitors for Garrett Crochet. Maybe I'll do Garrett Crochet. I'm all right. I will do a short on that. That's pretty funny. Imagine if the Yankees lose out on him. I would mention the Mets have a better farm system than the Yankees. The Yankees have a crummy farm system. They really do. All right. Carlos Estevez. Well, I would say the Phillies are out signing him. Paul Goldschmidt. He's got a bunch of teams. I can see. Oh, what am I talking about? I would think that he'll probably go back to Arizona. Kyle Hendricks signed the Angels. Aroldis Chapman signed the Red Sox. Christian Walker. He's got tons of teams on him, boy. Got the Mets, the Yankees, Chicago, Milwaukee, Detroit, Baltimore, Houston, Seattle, San Francisco. I think he will go to Houston. But I would mention Houston's paring down payroll, so I'll change that. I say he'll go to Seattle. Walker Buehler. Interesting guy. Mets, the Yankees, Cubs, Cleveland, Detroit, Atlanta, Cincinnati, Washington, San Francisco, Baltimore, Milwaukee, Pittsburgh. Where do I think he's going to go? At the Mets get Garrett Crochet, and they re-sign Manaea. They don't need him. Mike Conforto signed with the Dodgers. Frankie Montas signed with the Mets. Framber Valdez. His name popped up in trade rumors today because it seems like I said the Houston Astros are going to be paring down their team. The team they built up, they're breaking it down. And then they'll be only left with the shortest man in the world, Jose Altuve. Just refreshing my X account. Tyler O'Neill signed the Orioles. Luis Severino signed the A's. So according to MLB Scoops, the Mets and Boston seem to be the two teams. I've heard Boston since the middle of the season this year that they've been wanting him since, before the summer started, when it looked like the Mets weren't going to do much. There was all kinds of talk. I was finding all kinds of articles about the Red Sox. So I'm not surprised at all that they're in on him. But I think he will return to the Mets, and they'll shift their focus, and they'll sign Max Fried. Manaea has a qualifying offer. Luis Severino has a qualifying offer. So Severino, the Mets will get the 4th-round pick of the A's, from the Ghetto A's this July, And I think Luis Manaea will get a draft pick for him. But I think he'll resign with the Mets. Jose Quintana, I've heard nothing with him. Luis, who pitched for the Mets last year, no qualifying offer for him. Luis Castillo, a guy to keep an eye on. He's a quality right-handed starter, ace-like stuff. We'll see where he goes. Teoscar Hernandez. I've heard quite a few teams on him. I had the Mets on him, but I'm going to cross them off with Soto signing. But we got Cincinnati, Los Angeles Dodgers, Kansas City, the Giants, Boston, Atlanta, believe it or not, San Diego, Baltimore, and the Yankees. I think he'll go to there's a lot of talk about the Yankees tonight. Where will he go? I would think that, I don't know. With this thing with Conforto, I don't know now. Maybe he goes back to Los Angeles. We'll see. Nathan Eovaldi. He's got a bunch of teams on him. We heard about him with the Mets yesterday. The Yankees, Baltimore, San Francisco, Texas, Atlanta, the Phillies, and Boston. The Orioles should go after him, and he really helped that team out because he's a big pitcher. But they need offensive players that have had experience in postseason and are big performers in those spots. They don't need like a star there, but they need some really good position players that can handle the pressure. Michael Wacha, who signed with the Royals. Tanner Scott, I haven't heard too much with him. I would cross out the Phillies at this point, but Boston, Toronto, I don't know about the Mets, the Yankees, Washington, the Dodgers, and the Baltimore Orioles with him. Travis Darnell, signed with the Angels. UC Kikuchi, signed with the Angels. Jeff Hoffman, I think I've heard over the last couple of days he's going to go back to the Phillies. We'll see if that happens. Clay Holmes signed them with the Mets. They made it official tonight. They're going to make him into a starter. Matthew Boyd signed with the Cubs. Jack Peterson, keep an eye on him. He could be with the Mets if the Mets don't sign Jesse Winker. Nick Pivetta, we've heard his name mentioned with the Mets. I mentioned him in a video yesterday. Nick Martinez signed with the Reds. Tomoyuki Sagana, Texas, Los Angeles. He's a Japanese pitcher. Milwaukee and the Mets. Roki Sasaki. The belief is the Mets might have increased their chances of getting him by this move for bringing in Juan Soto. But he's got tons of teams on him. He was posted today. Teams have 45 days to sign him. Shinizuki Ogasawara is a lefty. I don't know if he's going to get posted, but I've heard Milwaukee, San Diego, the Mets, Cleveland, and the A's. About Sasaki, real quick, he's going to have every team on him because they don't have to pay him a lot of money. Alec Bohm, Seattle, St. Louis, and the Angels, I've heard. Again, Garrett Crochet, the big news tonight, he's being shopped heavily tonight. The Mets and the Yankees are the most aggressive. We got the Rangers on this thing, the Cubs, the Reds. The Reds want to make a big move. They got a big manager. Don't be surprised at the Phillies. Boston, if they don't get Manaea or Max Fried. And, of course, Baltimore has plenty of prospects still in their farm system that they could bring in. Ryan Helsley, don't think he's going to get traded. I've heard a lot of different names. Carl Santana, I will put the Mets here for now. I've heard him a little bit with them. I've heard him with a lot with the Yankees. Harrison Bader might go to the homeless Rays. Alex Verdugo, I've actually heard the Yankees bringing him back. And the Rangers. JD Martinez, I haven't heard too much, but I heard Minnesota. Kenley Jansen, I would cross off the Phillies. I had him on there, going there. But Pittsburgh, Atlanta, and the Yankees. I'm surprised the Yankees have been so quiet, to be honest with you. After getting their ass kicked yesterday by the Mets and Steve Cohen. Blake Trinan, re-signed with the Dodgers. Keep an eye on Jordan Montgomery. He's probably going to get moved. I don't really have teams attached to him. The guy's been talked about a lot tonight is Nolan Arenado. The Phillies, the Yankees, the Mets, the Dodgers, and Houston. Those are teams that I wouldn't touch them about the Mets. The Yankees, if they do that, they'd be foolish because then they bring more money and they've gotten even older. Jordan Romano signed with the Phillies. Now I got guys at the back end of this list that popped up over the last few days. Josh Naylor, the first baseman with the Indians. The Guardians. Seattle, Houston, the Mets, and the Yankees. Don't be surprised if he's with the Mets. Cody Bellinger, Houston, Seattle, and the Yankees. Lane Thomas of the Guardians, I've heard him. Devin Williams, he's going to get moved. I guess we can cross out the Phillies on this. But Atlanta, but then again, Pete beat him. Arizona, the Yankees, and the Pirates. Ryan Presley, I've heard the Mets. What am I talking about? He's being shopped. I put the Mets down. Excuse me. Kyle Tucker, he's being shopped. I've heard the Yankees prominently tonight. So these are some of the players that could get moved and that could sign with teams over the next few days. And this is the first full day of the winter meetings. This is Monday, December 9th, 2024. And then hopefully we'll have some more movement. Like I said, I expect the Mets to make a trade for a pitcher, and I've been pretty consistent on that because they have a lot of glut in their infield. Guys could get moved that are infielders. Jesus Baez could get moved. Heard his name a little bit tonight. Jet Williams could get moved. Luis Angel Acuna could get moved. Drew Gilbert could. Now this thing we're bringing Soto in, that might make Drew Gilbert expendable. That could possibly happen tonight, or not tonight, but over the next couple of days, that he might get moved. And I think that Starling Marte could be in trouble here, because unless you want to DH him and have him play sort of, his defense isn't great either. He might be a guy that could get moved because now the playing time is starting to shrink with the Mets, because he's not going to play left field with Nimmo here. He's not going to play center field with the two center fielders here. And, of course, Soto will be the right fielder on this club. Hello, Rocky Marciano. So don't be surprised if Marte gets moved. If they start moving some of these middle infielders, they could go on a trade for a pitcher like Garrett Crochet or Luis Castillo. I've been very consistent on that. Now, Crochet is not going to make a lot of money, but the price tag is extremely high. And you might have to give up Jet Williams for him. But then again, where's he going to play? He's not a big kid. Okay, he's not 6'1", 6'2" with that town. He's 5'6". And that's kind of tells you a lot about where he is as a player. He would have been drafted much higher in 2022 if he wasn't so small, slight. So that's the one thing. Now, of course, I'll be back tomorrow. In a live stream around the same time, I think. And we're going to have fun here again. And, of course, I'll be back again on Wednesday. I'll have videos for you. I'm going to record a video after this. I'm going to do a short and then a full video for tomorrow. Hopefully there's no moves. I don't work alone. I work half a day tomorrow. So I'll be able to get something in before my day and after my day. But who knows? But again, I'm going to try to do more stuff like this, more video. And I'm dealing with big competition. It's funny. I was thinking, this has really changed the landscape here from 4 years ago. 4 years ago, it was only me. It's only me doing these videos and these live streams, and now I got all the corporations on here now, so it's very difficult. But if you are been in here, you've been supporting mine, I appreciate it. If you've been watching all these years, I really appreciate it. And going to expand. See, you're going to learn some things here. I'm going to do all kinds of things on X. I'm going to have more videos on X. So that's why you need to follow me on there. I want to get that monetized. You need 500 followers on there. I got about half. The account is verified. You send me super chats and super thanks. That pays for that. That paid for that. The super chat I got last night paid for that. For the year, because I did the Cyber Monday on there, so I was very happy about that. Hold on, I need to drink. Cool. I'm gonna try to go on different platforms to really expand things here. It's I'm very limited in what I can do here. So, but X is a big place. It's going to be a huge place moving forward, and that's why I really need you to go on there. I'm gonna put my account on there in the chat, and the lighting will get better. I thought the lighting would be much better than it's been. And I do have a light here, believe it or not. Let me find my account on X. I'll put it in the chat. So this is my account on X. And of course, please follow me on there. I mean a lot to me to do that. So, but we'll see what happens. I hope to get on, like I said, different platforms, really start to expand things and do different things on here to really get a little more high profile and really get into the sort of this realm because I really enjoy doing this. And I know you like me doing it too. And again, I want to thank you for coming by. I'm going to end the live stream here now because I think that nothing's going on. If anything goes on, I'll just do a video. Like I said, I'll do a short on Garrett Crochet. Let's see. That's from MLB Scoops. Top prospect shortstop Luis Angel Acuna would likely be in any package sending White Sox Garrett Crochet to the Mets. Okay. That doesn't surprise me because he played in the majors last year, this past year. So that does not surprise me one bit. And if I were the White Sox, I would definitely ask for him. So that is something that's rather interesting, very interesting. I do expect Pete Alonso to sign. I probably after, folks, the winter meetings. So I want to thank you all for coming by. Please subscribe to the Baseball Hut. Back again tomorrow. Probably do regular live streams on a regular basis. And you need to subscribe. Because now the studio's all set up here. And I'll be in the other room too. But I'll set up more of my decorations. It's more of a sort of a central area than anything else. But thank you for coming by. Please subscribe to the Baseball Hut. Have a good night. I'll see you later.